Good morning, everyone. It is Brenda here for Simplicity, and welcome to Fun Fridays. I'm a few minutes early just because I am not quite sure how long this live is going to last. It may be a long one, only because I'm really excited about this product. And this is the new clear, I gotta get the right name here. The Clear Seal Maker Tool. All right. So I'm really excited about this because I love making wax seals, and I've been waiting for a clear wax or to be able to make a clear seal. And we've seen in the past, people use glue guns and such, but they weren't perfectly clear. And I knew Spellbinders was working on this, and it's been in the works for a bit, and it's finally here. So we just got these in, and we're almost sold out. We have more on order, but really fun way of making clear seals. All right, so I'm going to show you some I'm going to go through all the products here. I'm going to show you some samples, and then I'm going to do. All right. I did post on our Facebook page yesterday. I did post the Spellbinders consumer video. They do the unboxing, and they go through all the kind of the details here. They do the comparisons between this product and a hot glue gun. This is not a hot glue gun. It looks like a hot glue gun. It works like a hot glue gun, but there is a bit of difference between this and a glue gun. All right, so we'll go through that. So this is where I'm going this morning. I'm going to show you. So if you're watching, pop in the comments if you have any questions, and I'll do my best answering. I took a class with Spellbinders this week on this and learned a bunch of fun stuff. And I just, have been playing, and that's the best way to learn. So let's get started. So before I go any further, there's two ways that you can purchase this sealed clear seal maker tool. There's a bundle. The bundle will consist of the actual tool, all right, which is this guy here, and the new glass mat, all right. Now, you can use any glass mat, all right. So if you have the Tim Holtz work mat, that's fine. If you have our Simplicity one, that's fine. Any glass mat will work. I just like the fact the bundle was nice because I like this little glass mat. I like to keep all my mess contained. So having that separate little glass mat to work on doesn't clog up my other workspace here. All right. So you can get the deal, the bundle deal with the glass mat, or you can just buy the clear seal maker tool by itself. All right. Price point on them is not crazy. The tool itself is around the $28. The bundle is with the glass mat, you're looking at $54. All right. So not a crazy expensive tool. Great Christmas gift, just saying. All right. So that is a tool. And then in that tool set, you are going to get some of the clear seal sticks and then an instruction manual or instruction sheet in there. But this is not going to last you very long. I'm not going to say, because once you start, you're going to keep on wanting to make. So, and I think Spellbinders realized that because they came out with the refill packs, and they didn't go, they weren't stingy about it. They gave you, they're double the size, they're 8 inches long, the sticks, and there's 20 in the pack. All right. So $14.99 for those ones. And these are crystal clear. So I encourage you to watch the video that I posted yesterday from Spellbinders, which goes over, because they do a lot of the comparisons between a hot glue gun with the clear seals. They also do, clear glue sticks. And honestly, nothing compares to these guys. These are super clear, crystal clear. You will not get that with a hot glue or anything. All right. So the main difference I'm just going to talk about of this tool versus a glue gun is that this is going to get exceptionally warm, much warmer than a glue gun. All right. So you're not going to get the right temperature with a glue gun to do this type of seal. So you got to have the right tool to get the best results, right? So I know Spellbinders have worked on this for a bit, and it will create the right temperature for that crystal clear seal stick. All right. Now, I am not great with glue guns. I burn myself all the time. This one here is pretty user friendly because the only metal piece on there is this here. All right. That's the one that's going to get really hot. Like I can feel the heat on here, but it's not going to burn you like the metal will. And because we're not using it as glue, we're using it as a wax seal. You're dispensing it in little puddles and then putting it right in your wax seal stamp right into it. So there's less chance of you burning it or burning yourself. All right. So just know that. All right. So there's a trusty little stand on here so that it can be propped up. It's got a little stand here. So you always want to have it standing the right way, never on its side. It tells you that in the instructions. Always have it up when it's in use. All right. Okay, so let's just go ahead. I'm going to show you my samples. Look how fun these are. All right, so I'm going to show you all different ways of using this. So look at that. Oh my gosh, I love that one. This one here. All right, and then this is using the fern. Of course, I love the fern, right? So there is a clear. Look how clear that is. You can see my fingers right behind there, which is pretty awesome. This one here, I use glitter in there. Look at how fun that is. All right. And then I was just playing with some pattern paper. All right. So let's just talk about the other associated products with this. All right. So not only is there the clear um, maker tool and the glass mat, they did come out with some fun stuff. All right. So this is the Bullion wax seal powder. This stuff is amazing. All right. So if you get the tool maker or the seal maker, you're going to want one of these or both colors. All right. Right now they just come in gold and silver. They look like really glittery eyeshadows. Don't put it on your eyes though. Me and Michelle were joking around wondering if we could put these on our eyes because they're so glittery. But don't put it on your eyes. They are meant to stick on the wax seal. And that is what I've used on around here, and it is so awesome to use. It goes on you. I use the applicator brush. You can use your finger as well, but it sticks to that wax beautifully. Now the first question I had is, okay, it sticks to the clear wax, will it stick to the other wax from the wax seal family? And the answer is yes. And I'm going to actually show you that on this card here. I'm going to highlight the rim on here. All right, so I'm going to show you that. So those are the two powders that came out, the gold and the silver. I'm going to show you how they work. And this is going to last you a long time because a little goes a long way. All right, so there is that. The other thing that they came out with this kind of collection is this one. All right, these are called the Little Works of Art. These are rub-ons. There are 2 sheets in here. And that's what I use to create this guy here. All right. Look how fun that is. So they are little rub-ons that you can rub on cardstock. And then if you remember, we had this wonderful set. All right. And it came, I want to make sure, it was these 2 and the matching die came in the set. And these dies, all right, we'll cut out these little rub-ons and then you can inset them onto your wax seal when you use these 2. All right, so I'm going to demo that. We have more of these coming in. I realize we are sold out. They were a big hit from our North Pole Express demo day. We have more on the way. All right, so don't despair. But you can use any wax seal stamp with this. All right, so I think we should just get going, right? So I'm going to just show you how easy it is to use. And then I'm going to show you some tips and techniques with this. All right. Now, if you are planning to join us for our customer appreciation days at the end of the month, November 28th and 29th, we're going to be demoing this here at the store. And you can have your try at it. You can make yourself a little clear seal and should be lots of fun. All right. So you can try it for yourself. All right. So we're going to get going. Now, when you turn this on, there's an on-off switch. Now, there was a sticker on here, and I peeled it off. But the sticker, they had the sun and there's a high and low, but there is no high and low. Low is off, high is on. All right, so just so you know that, so you're going to turn that on, and it takes about 5 minutes to warm up. All right, it's a slow, gradual warmth that happens, and then it's ready to go. So I had this plugged in in advance so that we can get going. So mine is ready to go. All right, so I'm going to do a couple of things. So I'm going to start with the postage stamp and this lovely oval one, just because I think the rub-ons work really, really well. Then I'll use the fern. I'm going to show you that. Then we have the solid circle. I know a lot of you took a class with me, not last year, but the year before with this solid circle. This is going to be your new best friend with the clear seals. Just saying, dig it out. We will have more of these on order. They are on back order from Spellbinders right now, but we have them on back order. All right, so we'll make sure we watch that and watch them come in. Okay, so let's just get going. So just like a regular wax seal, when you melt the wax and you pour it, you would pour kind of like I always say like a quarter size amount of product on there to stick that on. So for this one here, I love the fact that it's in a gun, all right, because now with the ovals and the squares, I always like to do, my dispensing of the product or the wax, the seal, in the same shape, all right? So this one here, I'm going to do the oval. So I'm going to go ahead and now I got to make sure. All right, so I'm just going to, and what I love about that, that is one squeeze of that, all right? So I'm just putting a little bit more. So I just have, I know it's really probably hard to see, but there's an oval oval amount of the wax seal. And then I'm just going to, now this is a little bit different because when we did with wax, our regular pour wax, we would just let gravity do its thing. We would kind of push it in the wax and just let it do a thing. This you really need to push in there, and then you want to let it sit, all right? It is important for this to cool. It's super hot. All right, so you really want to let it sit. So I know with regular wax, it cools very quickly. This takes a little bit longer to cool. So give it some time, have some patience. I always say have extra little ones going so that you can continue creating. So I'm going to do the rectangle. All right, oop, let's get that on there. And all right, so I'm going to let that push. I'm going to bring that up to camera because I know it's really hard to see because it's so clear. All right, so you can see that there. All right, I'm going to do one more just because I have the fern here. So, and this is an oval one, so I'm going to, oops. I just kind of put it in an oval shape and then I push that in. All right, so we're going to let them cool. All right. All right, so I just want to talk about some of the techniques I've done. I'm going to show you the wax seal powder on there. That's what this one has done. This one here, I did pattern paper behind it. Look how fun that is. This one here, I did one of those work of arts rub-ons in the center. And then I did black paper on there, right? So it's kind of cool, right? It's got a real great vintage look to it. This one here, I put an iridescent sparkle behind it. All right, so look how fun that one is. This one here, I did the gold powder on the top, and then I also did the gold powder on the back. What I love about that is that you still get a translucency of that seal, but the fern itself, because it's got almost double layers, you get more of that solid look. All right. And then this is with the rub-on in the center, and I've just highlighted the edges. And this one here, I just punched out a circle of pattern paper and put it in. All right. So just a few different ways of doing that. Okay. So let me just get a few things started here while this is still cooling. These should be ready to go, but I'm going to grab a piece of cardstock, and I have one of the little rub-ons here. Now, this is not from the Works of Art. This is from the Holiday Magic. All right. We just got these back in stock. So it's that little bird right there. These will work in there as well. So I can make little Christmas ones. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the little bird there. I'm also going to do one of the Works of Arts, which I think I put my package, my used package on the shelf. That's not good. So let me cut one of these as well. And I'm going to just do the one here on the top just because it's easy to cut out, which is this lovely floral one. All right, so let's do both of these rub-ons. One we'll do in the oval, one we'll do in the rectangle one. All right, that's cooling. All right, so the rub-ons are there. I'm just gonna run this through my die cut machine, all right, which is just to the left of me here. I love doing my rub-ons through the die cut machine. Perfect rub-ons all the time. All right, so that is there. So there is that one. And then we've got the little birdie. All right, so we've got the two. I'm going to go ahead and die cut them now. I'm just going to trim this out a little bit. And my die cuts are here. So again, these little die cuts came with the oval and the rectangle. It was a double package, all right? So it came with the dies and both shapes, all right? So we'll do the flower as the rectangle and the birdie as the oval. And I'm just going to die cut them out. I'm just lining up the dies over top and then running through the machine. All right. Sorry, it's not on camera. I'm limited on space here. Okay. So we have our little floral and our little bird. Okay. So let me just now put those somewhere safe. And let's pop up our first one. Now, it's really important that you do this on a glass mat, all right? If you do this on a silicone mat, it's not going to be as clear. The glass mat is the game changer. All right, so there it is. Look how pretty that is. Okay, pretty awesome, right? So there is our oval one. I didn't center it as best I could. It's hard when you have the camera in your bird's eye view. And then we're going to take the rectangle one off. That one was really stuck in there. All right, and there is that one. That one turned out pretty good. I've got nice lips around the edges of that. All right, so, and then let's do the fern. That was, see, that one popped off really nicely. All right, look at the fern. Again, I didn't get it perfectly centered. Just know that I have a camera right in my bird's eye view when I'm doing things like this. So that's not perfect, but I'm going to go ahead and show you now the wax, or not the wax, the powder. All right. So let's go ahead and take this out. So you've got this little makeup applicator brush. Like I said, you can use your fingers to apply. You know me, I don't like getting dirty, so I'm using the applicator tool, but do you, right? There is what's in the jar, all right? So it's a kind of a pressed powder in there, all right? Not a loose powder. All right, so then I'm just going to go ahead and pick up some of that, and this is where the magic happens. You're just going to rub it on, and it is just truly, it almost goes on like kind of like a wax, all right? You know how when you buff a wax on, that's what it looks like. It doesn't go on like as a powder. Sorry, I'm just trying to get that focused. It's hard to see. My internet keeps on freezing here. So, all right. So I think that's good there. All right. So you're just gonna rub that on and lightly, and I do in a little rotating motion. All right. I'm gonna just put this down now. All right. So I'm just highlighting that little scalped edge, and then I can go in and highlight what would be the raised edge. I didn't get a real great raised edge on here because I didn't. But look how beautiful that is. Ah, so nice. All right. Just lovely. All right. So I'm going to do, I got a little string there. I'm going to do the postage stamp now. This one's got a nice lip on it. So I can go and get, and you can see I didn't even have to put more powder on my brush. A little goes a long way. So you can do just a light touch on there, or you can build up your gold. Now I'm going to go in a little bit more and add just around that postage. All right, and I've just now highlighted the details on there, but you're still getting that transparency, which is really, really lovely. All right, let's do the fern. I always think when you have a pattern in the center, it's just amazing how it just brings it to life. All right, so again, just a very light touch. I'm just going over the pattern, and then I'm going to do the lip. And that just brings it to life. And it's just got an elegance to it. But there we go. I don't know if that'll focus. Yeah, there we go. How pretty is that? All right, so let me just, I'm gonna get a couple more going here, and then we'll come back to these ones. So let me just put my lid on, and I'm just gonna switch one of these, and I'm going to put the solid circle in there because I wanna show you the glitter technique and the pattern paper technique. So I wanna get one started. So for the glitter technique, there's two ways of doing this. This one here, I put the glitter right on the glass mat. I put a little pile there, just sprinkle a little bit. Then I put the wax over top and push this in. For this one, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to put my wax down first. Then I'm going to sprinkle, I gotta be quick about this. I'm going to sprinkle some glitter right in there. And then I'm going to use my solid circle. I think I did good with this one. And I'm going to push that in. All right. So we're going to take a look at that one. While that's cooling, I'm going to go back to my oval and my rectangle because now all we need to do is put a little bit of glue. All right. And stick these in. Now, I did not grab glue, so I'm just going to use a little bit of the wax seal. And I'm just going to stick that right in there. And look how cute that lovely little seal is with that birdie in there now. How fun is that? Okay, so there is that. Okay, I'm going to do the other one. I'm just going to put a little bit of the wax there. It'll hold the paper because I forgot to grab glue. And then this is going to sit right in there as well. All right. And look at that one. So much fun. All right, so this is still cooling. So what I want to do is I'm going to take this one and I'm going to back it with some cardstock because I think looks so cool when you put a dark color behind it. It gives it, look at that. Just changes the whole look of it, all right? So you're still going to see that. So what I do is I glue this on, and again, I'm just going to use this. This is not what I normally would use. I would use my regular white glue, but you can use that. And I'm going to stick this on. And then I'm going to cut around it. All right. And now we've got this really great vintagey look. All right. Look how fabulous that is. All right. So let me just cool that for a bit. This one here, I'm going to leave as is. I think I might be okay here. For this one here, so I just kind of very carefully cut around this. I don't have my glasses on. So, hopefully, and I just kind of angle it and try to get the edge of my scissors just slightly underneath it. You don't want to cut too far in because you still want that black to show, right? Because this wax is transparent. So I'm just going to just rough cut around that and take a look. Look how beautiful that is. I love that. So pretty. All right, so we've done that. We've done that. I'm showing you the glitter one now. We've got just that with the rub on the center. All right, so this one should be good to go. So this one here, like I said, this was with the glitter, and I put the glitter down first, then I dispensed my wax, my clear wax over top, and then stuck in my solid circle to give that glittery look. This one I did the opposite. I put the wax down first, I sprinkled the glitter in, and then put my, all right, so I didn't sprinkle very well, but it is there. I don't know if there's a real difference on which way you do it. Either or. All right. So I'm going to highlight this one because when you put that gold on, it's just amazing. All right. So again, I'm just kind of highlighting the rim. So it's just a light touch in a circular motion, and it just goes on like wax. It's just amazing. All right. So there we have this fabulous, fabulous glittery one. Okay, so I'm gonna start another one because I want to do pattern paper behind it. All right, so I'm gonna do the solid circle again. So I'm just going to, I have to put another glue stick in here. That's gonna cool off probably. I shouldn't call them glue sticks because I don't think they're actually glue. I don't know what they are. They're a wax seal, clear wax seal, but because it looks like a glue stick, I'm going to call it a glue stick. All right. So that one is there. I'm going to go back to, what was I going to do now? Oh, I want to go and show you while this is cooling on the regular wax. All right. So I want to use the gold, and I want to show you that it works on the other wax. All right. So that's the one that you heat with the furnace and the spoon. And look, it goes on beautifully. All right. I'm being very careful because I got pearls going on inside this wax seal. But you can see that that gold powder will go on that one as well. All right. So look how beautiful that is. I'm going to go a little bit heavier. I'm being very gentle. All right. So now, before we used to take a marker to do the highlights on the wax. Now this little gold powder just makes it a little bit easier, less messy. And I find you have a little bit more control over that. So yes, these powders do work on the regular waxes that you melt. All right. So okay. Do you think this is cool? Yeah, I think so. Okay. I'm gonna start another one because I have two pattern papers here I want to use. So pressed flowers would look lovely in here too. I could not find mine. I know I have a little container of pressed flowers. Pressed flowers would be lovely in here as well. You would do the glue, you would put your flower on, and then you would put your solid circle in. All right, so this one here is ready to go. All right, so this is the plain seal. Again, look how clear that is. It is super clear. You can see through it, and it's just lovely. All right, so this one here I just found in our stash. And I thought, look how cool that would be. It fits right over the compass. Look how fun that will be. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to glue that right onto that compass. And again, I would probably use not this wax, clear wax to seal it or glue it on. I would normally use a regular glue, but that worked. It worked. All right, I'm going to let that cool. I'm going to cut that out and wait till I put the gold around there. It'd be gorgeous. Gorgeous. All right. So let that cool. And then the other one I'm going to do is I had a little scrap here. I thought maybe it'd be fun. I'm going to do one of these little flowers. It's going to look like a pressed flower in there, but not really. All right. So we're going to let that cool. And I'm going to just very carefully cut this out. All right, and while I'm doing this, I'm going to make sure I have no questions. I see comments all there, and I'm not paying attention. Debbie says she loves the gold look. Yes, I love the gold as well. Just really, really fun. Anna, you had me at rub-ons. Ah ha ha. I got new rub-ons, Anna. Anna, I just introduced to rub-ons, and she's addicted to them. So you're welcome, Anna. And Carol says, love all the techniques. Yes, this is pretty cool. So let's go in with some powder, and I'm going to bring this a little bit closer so you can kind of see. Oh. So this powder will not stick to paper. It's magical. It sticks to the wax. Even on my skin, I'm not getting anything on there, but it will go on the wax. So it's kind of magical. So I am sure Spellbinders has more colors coming, but normally gold and silver are always kind of the first kind of things, especially with wax seals, right? Because you like that metallic look. But look how fantastic that embellishment is now. Ah, so, so cool. All right. Look that gold. All right. Just gonna just doing the edges as well, just to make sure it's all coated. I love that one. So cool. All right, let's do, this should be cooled down now. And we're going to go ahead and put this on this floral here. All right. So we're going to have it, it's going to look like a pressed flower, but not really. All right. So again, I am just going to use a little bit of this in the center. And then I'm going to stick that down. All right, so there is our little pressed flower in there, our pressed paper flower. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut that out. Look how cute. And then let's do the gold on there. Sorry, I don't have a silver open. And because we've been selling them so quickly, I don't want to open a silver package. I don't want to take that from somebody. So Spellbinders gave me a gold one. So I'm doing gold, but the silver is just as effective. All right, look at that. Oh, so pretty. Oh my gosh, love it. I could be here all day making wax seals because it's just so much fun. I think, is there anything else I need to show you before I sign off? Is there any questions? Because I do have to open the store. So I think I'm going to call it quits right now. But that is the clear seal maker tool from Spellbinders. It's pretty awesome. All right. So if, like I said, if you're joining us for our customer appreciation day, you're going to be able to make one of these. We're going to have the works of art rub-ons. I think we're going to do, maybe we might do a Christmas one. I don't know, but we will definitely have this for you to make a clear wax seal, work with the powders, and just have some fun to demo it. Does it feel waxy or rubbery, or does it harden? It's not as hard as the original wax. So if I give you this one is the one that I did a while ago. You can see that I can still kind of manipulate it a little bit. So yes, it's a little bit softer than the regular wax. All right. Does it feel waxy? Yeah, it does. It doesn't come off. So it doesn't harden like the original wax. All right. It's just a composition of what they needed to do to get that crystal clear look to it. All right. All right, if there's no more questions, I'm going to sign off. I thank everyone for watching us on the live as well as on the replay. If you have any other questions about this, feel free to message me because I'm just going to keep on playing in the next little bit just to really familiarize myself with this because I think it's super fun. All right, that's it for me, everyone. Have yourself a wonderful day. And remember, tomorrow's a special day. Tomorrow is our 50 and Fabulous sale. So I'm going to pop on at 9 o'clock a.m. to show you all the products that are in our sale. Everything is on our everything will be on our website under our 50 and Fabulous category. You don't want to miss it. So until then, everyone, have yourself a wonderful day. Bye.